Hey guys, and welcome to my updated forging guide. The last time I made my forging guide was before Shadow Level 5 and Radiant Gear were out, and there was also an item called the Perfect Prism which no longer exists, so it is no longer needed to upgrade to Shadow Level 1 from Resplendent. I will go over what each forge does, and how to obtain certain materials needed in each one, and finally talk about what drops to look for, what to keep, and do a live upgrade to show each step, and how it is done to make a perfect item. So the forge allows you to upgrade your item stats up to a maximum of 5 stars, no matter the rarity, with each star upgrading the stats by 2% per upgrade. After reaching 5 stars, you can upgrade the rarity for an increased amount of flux and eyes, or a forged soul. The rarities start at common, and upgrade to uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, relic, resplendent, shadow, and finally radiant. To go from Shadow Level 1 to 2, it will cost 875 flux and 100 eyes. To go from Shadow Level 2 to 3, it will cost 750 flux, 75 eyes, and 2 twice forged souls. To go from Shadow Level 3 to 4, it will cost 1250 flux, 150 eyes, and 2 thrice forged souls. To go from Shadow Level 4 to 5, it will cost 2000 flux, 250 eyes, and 2 quad forged souls. To go from Shadow Level 5 to Radiant, it will cost 2500 flux, 300 eyes, 3 pentaforged souls, and 3 purifying dragon flames. And finally, to max out Radiant item with no stars, it will cost 5000 flux, 350 eyes, and 5 purifying dragon flames. There are 2 ways to get souls. The first is to deconstruct the appropriate Shadow Level item. So deconstructing a Shadow Level 2 gives twice forged souls, Shadow Level 3 gives thrice, Shadow Level 4 gives quad, and Shadow Level 5 gives penta. The second way to get souls is a rare chance from opening dragon caches, and you also get the purifying dragon flames from the dragon caches as well. Next we have the Enchanted Forge, which allows you to add a 4th stat, as well as add bonus stats onto gear using Pearls of Wisdom. You can also lower the level requirement for gear using Twinkling Tomes, and randomize Radiant Auras for 75 Glim. The first time you use a pearl on a piece of gear that has 3 stats, will add a random 4th stat. Each pearl added after will give a bonus stat to a random stat on the item, so the first bonus stat will give 10%, and the second will give an additional 20, adding up to 30% bonus stats that can be added to all 4 stats for a total of 8 pearls. Using Twinkling Tomes lower the level required for an item, so it will take 9 Twinkling Tomes to make a Radiant item level 1 and usable by any class, which, yes, means it is possible to have a level 1 with 90,000 HP or even higher. Randomizing your Radiant Aura was recently changed to be in order you have them in your Styles tab, so it is no longer random. Finally, we have the Chaos Forge, which is used to reroll the 3rd and 4th stat on your gear using Tentacles and Flux. In some sense, it is better to have an item with the 3rd stat you want before adding a 4th. However, if you have that perfect 3rd stat and add a 4th that turns out to be a bad stat, you have the chance to change the 3rd stat in the process of getting a 4th stat that you wanted, so I personally suggest not caring about the 3rd or 4th stat you get, and just look at the first 2. Alright, so this is going to be the live portion of my forge guide. I will be going over what I keep when I am adventuring, the cheapest ways to upgrade, and a live upgrade. So, the main thing that you want to look for when you are out in the world and adventuring is an item exactly like this. It is level 4, doesn't matter. It is only epic, it does not matter. If you look at the stats, it has the 4 pearls next to the stats. That is the only thing that you should be looking for when you're finding gear in the open world. If you find a Shadow Level 2 or 3 item that has no pearls, you are going to spend a lot more flux adding the pearls to that than you would upgrading a level 4 that has 4 pearls on it. So keep that in mind. When you're out adventuring, if you get a whole bunch of yellows and reds, look through them and look for the 4 pearls, because if you find a 4 pearl orange, it is going to be so much better than finding a Shadow Level 1 or 2 item with no pearls on it. Those are completely useless in terms of upgrading and forging. You can always sell them to players, but this is a forging guide, and in that term, they are useless, at least to you. So I will also look for 3 pearls if I feel like I'm getting very unlucky that day, but for the most part, I will be looking for only 4 pearls. Does not matter the rarity, but let's just get this item. It's decent, it has 4 pearls, it has perfect stats for most casters that use attack speed, it has magic damage, attack speed, and health regen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pearl to it, which will give it that 4th stat. And it got maximum health. This is actually a perfect item. I don't need to re-roll it with the Enchanted Forge, or the Chaos Forge, but since I am demonstrating, I will just do it for demonstration purposes, and I will see how long it takes me to get these stats back. So if I do it, it changed the health regen to jump. Health regen is much more valuable than jump, so I will go again. Stability, I don't need. Knockback movement speed, I don't need. Knockback energy regen. The energy regen, if I could have it, I'll keep it, but it gets taken away, so I will just keep going until I find the stats that I want. Alright, so I spent, I don't know how much that was like 20 or 30 tentacles, and I finally got these stats back. Sometimes you will get unlucky. I've had items where I spent 1 tentacle and I got the perfect 2 stats for my class. So, always keep that in mind. This is RNG, randomizing is random, so keep that in mind. But I do have these stats back. It didn't cost too much tentacles. I had a ton of them just sitting around doing nothing, so for me it doesn't matter, but that was just to demonstrate the Chaos Forge. So now that I have those stats, I want to add another pearl. It only has 3, it could have up to 8, and each pearl gives 10% for the first one and 20% for the second one. In total, 30% bonus stats to your item. So I'm going to add a pearl to it, and put it on the 3rd stat. So now I have 1 on the first, 2 on the second, 1 on the 3rd. Now that I have done that, it's time to upgrade. So, Shadow level 1, the Flux and the Eyes stay the same until you upgrade to the next rarity. So it's going to cost 500, and I'm just going to keep going until I need to spend the Shadow Souls. And there we go, now Shadow level 3, and upgrade some more. And now I need the Thrice Forged Shadow Souls. I don't have any, and I don't want to spend too much flux on this guide. I did a ton on the original one. But that was just an example. Now we can go back. It's Shadow level 3, requires level 10. You know what? I want to make it level 9. Okay. So there we go. Spent 1 Twinkling Tome. Now you can use it at level 9. You can use up to 9 Twinkling Tomes, and you can have items at level 1 that have Radiant stats. So that is how people run around with like 100k plus health and just destroy everything at the lower levels, because it is possible in this game. Alright, so there is a decent staff. Let's go on to, say, my Ice Age. Let's compare. Look at that. Plus 588 magic damage, plus 12 attack speed, plus 1,148 health regen, and plus 1,342 health for the measly 113 stability. So, I just upgraded my Relic Staff to a Shadow level 3 with 4 pearl. Alright, so sorry I cut it a little short there. My mic kind of started crackling. But that is the end of the guide. That is the most efficient way to upgrade your gear. That is the best items to look for when you're out adventuring. And overall, the most efficient way to go about leveling up your gear and gearing up your characters. But that's going to be it for this video. Remember, if you guys need help with anything and you want me to make a guide about it, leave it in the comments below. Also, if we can get 50 likes, it inspires me to keep going with my videos, and it lets me know that you guys like the videos and want me to keep going. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.